TBIC, the best in sports entertainment here, live in Empowerment USA. TNS Media Group is the team and the family. Football game last night. Minnesota Vikings played host to the Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears came up short. Vikings ended up winning the game. Thoughts? Are the Vikings serious? Are the Vikings a team to watch out for? Or will they be a team that you can look forward to playing in the NFC Championship?
Go ahead, bro. I'll take this one.
Me personally, I don't believe in no Vikings. And they ain't no biased opinion or nothing like that. They're doing good. They're getting by. But this is the same Vikings. Vikings always give you, they have to show me, they have to get in the playoffs and be beat punishing stuff. They have to be standing on something for me to be like, all right, the Vikings has arrived. No, the Vikings, who did the Vikings just beat?
They beat the Bears.
They beat the Bears. Caleb Williams is trash. I keep telling everybody Caleb Williams is trash. It's a division game, cool, you got that off, but you beat the Bears. No, Vikings, come holler at them birds. That's what y'all do. And I know y'all gonna sit up here and think I'm being biased, but the Vikings is not good to me. What makes them good? Can you guys help me figure out what makes them of the Buffalo Bills, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Kansas City Chiefs? To me, they're not in that bracket.
I mean, I hear you saying that, but if you look at the Vikings, they're 12-2, right?
Yes, they are.
And they have beat who's on their schedule. You can't pick who's on your schedule. You're playing who the NFL chooses to be your opponent week in and week out. So
you are what your records say you are.
Exactly. If you look at their record, they're 12-2, top of the division, top of the Philadelphia Eagles, and what you call it, the top of the division. So I mean the Lions. So they're right at the top of the division. 12-2, beating everybody.
Good move, third down coming up.
Probably the best receiver in the league outside of Jamar Chase. Mm-hmm. And then you sit here and look at who they played.
Sam Darnold. You believe in Sam Darnold?
It doesn't. Football is a team sport. We're talking about team. The Minnesota Vikings team.
But there will come a time they will be stopped. I don't believe in it. Like the sports announcer the other day, I was watching a segment, and they were talking about Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers really not that good. They're not as good as their record indicate. Just because you have, last year the Eagles was what, 11 and some change going into the playoffs and lost 6 out the next 7? No, they're not that good. Just because your record reflects and show you, no.
Vikings, they good. They well coached, well bound.
I don't believe in the Vikings. I don't believe in the Vikings. I'm
looking at the games right now. They beat the 49ers.
The 49ers is trash this year.
That's week 1 though. It's
Okay.
early in the year. They beat the Texans, playoff team. They beat the Packers, playoff team. They lost by 2 to the Lions, playoff team. They lost by 1 to the Rams. They beat the Colts, and the rest is miscellaneous. But they beat the Cardinals. Cardinals fighting for their playoff life. Falcons, they beat them by 21. They beat the Bears, and they got a game versus the Seahawks and the Packers.
They have been doing.
They played Detroit last week game of the week.
That game probably not as good. I don't know. It might come down to the wire for something.
You gotta look at their team. They well coached. Look at their defense. They go one of the top 5 defenses in the league.
Yeah, I think that you just on the Eagles high, but
I'm really not. I'm sitting back here. Yes, they're 12-2. They have the same record as the Philadelphia Eagles and the Detroit Lions in the NFC. They have that. I can't take that away from them. But their record, to me, doesn't reflect who they are.
Why?
They don't scare me.
I mean, you look at it. He just mentioned they beat the Packers.
Yes, he did. Yes.
Playoff team. That's 4 playoff team.
If you look at their opponent, we have to do a stat check.
What are the Packers' record though? Y'all guys are sitting up here telling me like playoffs Packers is Kansas City.
That's better than whoever the Eagles played is better.
They beat the Packers. They beat Pittsburgh. They beat Baltimore. Yeah, they beating some juggernauts.
I'm not gonna make this an Eagles versus Vikings topic because the Vikings is a good team.
They are. They are.
A scary team. You telling me any given Sunday because they might get a home. They're going to get a home game, right?
Yeah, they'll be division leader. Yes.
Yes. So you gotta go there. Minnesota is cold there. So you telling me?
No, they play in the dome.
They play in
the dome.
Yeah,
they did because we went there a couple years ago and we did our thing. But they're gonna be a tough out for anybody. Because they can score the ball and they can defend.
I'm not gonna destroy them like that because they have good pieces like you guys are saying. And I totally agree with that. But am I on the bandwagon of believing that they can get into the playoffs and cause a ruckus? I'm not there yet.
Yeah,
regardless of what their record may say.
What team besides the Eagles
And the Lions.
and the Lions in a bad shape right now.
And the Lions is in their division.
They
as well.
can be got.
They're in the same division. They're both 12-2. So if you look at my question is, what I'm saying is, if you look at the Minnesota Vikings, you cannot overlook their play. If you look at them and what they've done, their roster, they healthy. They have a good coach. They have a good defense.
A solid quarterback.
A solid quarterback. They have possibly the best receiver in the league. Then they got a good supporting cast around the actual their top receiver in the league. If you look at this team, you can't say, hey, we're going to beat this team because...
No, I'm not saying we're going to beat this team. I'm saying that I don't believe in them.
So...
I'm telling them, like I said...
All right, tell me why you don't believe in them. Why?
Why?
What's the why? Why?
The why is who have they? What have they done to wow you?
We just told you they just beat teams.
Playoff teams. In the games they lost by 2 or 1 point, 1 possession versus Detroit.
Yes.
And you say Detroit's a Super Bowl caliber team, right?
Yes, they was until they started.
So they played them the last game of the year. So that might be down for the division. So if they beat that, then what? If they win a division, then what you gonna say?
Now, if they win the division and took it from Detroit, then I'm gonna have to start.
But even if they lose by Detroit, say they play Detroit tough again, they lose. You telling me any given Sunday they can't beat Detroit or give the Eagles a run?
Yes, they can, but I don't. Teams like that don't scare me.
They're not your fit. They don't scare. So I'm gonna be honest. The one team that do scare me,
That's in the NFC.
Yeah, that I feel like it would be a good matchup for us because they give us trouble over the years. It's the Buccaneers.
Yes. Yeah, and I totally agree with you.
But listen, let's go back to the Vikings. The Vikings, they're currently ranked top 10 in the league in defense. They're number 6 in points allowed, 12th in total yards, 29th in passing yards, and number 1 against the run in the league. And they number 7 in the league with 39 sacks. So they do have a good defense, man. Their defense is right there. And like you said, they have a good quarterback. I'll say a solid quarterback.
He playing good. He getting paid.
He's playing fairly well. Nobody expected him to play this well this year.
No, nobody. Not Sam Darnold.
But my whole thing is they coach. They coach is solid. They disciplined. They got a good.
I give them that. You are absolutely
That's what
correct
matters
with that.
when the game, because they playing close games, and you know in December and January that's what counts. Coaching
7-1 at home. So anybody that want to go up there and play in Minnesota,
because they can pick the points up
in that dome and they get real loud in there, real loud. And
so you can't sleep on them.
So,
that's all we saying.
Yeah, you go into there sleeping on them, they can get you up out of there. So, in my opinion, I think that the Vikings are a serious team in the league. I mean, I guess you might agree. I don't know about him, but I know you agree that they are a serious team in the league.
I agree.
So you might want to.
You are what your record is.
Yeah, they can't pick and choose who they want to play. They're actually playing who's on the schedule.
Yeah, they lost 2 games, bro.
So
you know how hard that is in the NFL?
Yes.
Hey. So when the Eagles went on a route, just to change the subject a little bit, but was still referring to the main topic, last year with that good record, and then lost 6 out of the next 7.
But they not doing it. Minnesota's not losing. They didn't start 10-1. Minnesota's not losing on a losing streak. They on a winning streak. They winning at the end of the year. That's the difference.
So their remaining schedule is actually kind of tough though, because they got the Seahawks, they got the Packers,
they all fighting,
and they got the Lions. So
we can show me the money. They might not make it out of there with no victories.
I mean, I see they got to go
with none.
They got to go to
none.
They got to go to Seattle.
Yeah,
and Seattle is not playing that well.
But Seattle will pop you.
But Seattle playing for a playoff.
Then they got they got the Packers at home again, and then they go to up to Detroit to face the Lions. So we'll see what happens. Now, if this schedule, the next 3 games, I say a gimme probably can be the Seattle Seahawks. But even if they beat the Packers and the Lions, these 2 serious playoff contending teams, Super Bowl contending teams, would you say they're serious that they beat both of these teams?
I would have to say they're serious because they play. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that the Minnesota Vikings are trash, but you are not. Y'all say you are what you are, what your record is. No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that the proof was in the pudding with us before with the Eagles. The proof was in pudding with Pittsburgh this year.
But you keep comparing us to them to the Eagles last year. At this time of last year, the Eagles was a mess.
And they have a great they have
a lot of dramas coming out the locker room. You're not hearing that in Minnesota, so you can't compare that. Right?
They got a top 5 offensive line, and Sam Darnold got 3,530 passing yards, 29 TDs, 11 interceptions.
Balling. So, and why Caleb Williams get a straight? Why you hit with a straight start? What'd he do?
With who?
Caleb Williams. He
Oh man, that's a whole nother. That's a whole nother.
But Caleb Williams, he's a rookie, man.
Yeah, but he
gonna be
is
good.
trash. He was the #1 pick overall, and he's trash.
He in
Y'all
a
know he
situation-
trash. He is out there looking. He
No,
has
he
a
not.
good
No, he
team.
not.
He has a good
He set
defense.
their record. He set their passing touchdown and passing yards. He's doing.
He's
like
trash.
not
That
trash.
man came in there. He is throwing that ball unbelievably just to anybody. To me in the stands.
He got 5.
to
He got
the-
like six interceptions. But my whole thing is his completion percentage. He got to work on. But
a lot of stuff he got to work on. His
coordinators and
awareness.
coaches, he just got to do.
He didn't throw no picks. He didn't throw. He played good. He was
solid. He
32. He was 32.
He said he played good.
32 of 47. 304. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I'm
No. I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
apologize. That was the first game they played. But I'll say this season, he's passing for 2,937 yards, 17 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions. You know what I'm saying?
Only thing I say really
He's
is
not.
He hold that ball too long.
because that's what
Not
come
gonna
with
do it.
creative quarterbacks though. You gonna get that. It's either you gonna take the good or the bad. Because when you do the good plays, you like but when the bad, that come with it. But he a kid, let him grow.
Yeah,
He's in Chicago
He a
too.
trash kid with that good team down there. Chicago fans, y'all ain't got nothing to look forward to. Mark my words.
What good team?
Y'all will be getting another pick, and y'all will be picking another quarterback. Y'all try him out next year for a little bit more.
After one season?
No, I said y'all will try. They will try him out next year again.
Hey, Caleb Williams, bull, man.
But he's not even playing that. He's not even playing hard. He's playing fairly good for a rookie.
It
He
was
got
coordinated.
17 touchdowns.
They fired
only 5 interceptions.
They fired their coach, didn't they?
Yeah, they
Yes.
fired their coach.
And their offensive coordinator.
Yes, they
So
followed the whole deal.
That's coming in the league. And look at that organization. They ain't one quarterback. Like it's functional. Get a kid in
It's
shape,
so.
man. You shooting at him for no reason, man.
He's
Balling, man. He ain't
He
that
talking
bad.
about some yeah. He keep talking some yeah.
Get a young boy's props,
Yeah,
man.
they
He
got
playing
good.
good. Shout out
I
to
don't like the
Caleb, man.
fingernails,
Shout
but
out to
you know
Caleb.
what I mean? Him and Jared McCain, they probably the same
Yeah, but
cousins or something. but-
listen. So my thing is, as far as Caleb Williams goes, I think that he's he's doing fairly well. 2,937 yards, 17
For the
touchdowns, 5
circumstance.
interceptions, man. So
He just got to work on his completion.
I
I'll
want
tell
to
you that.
see. You know what though? I want to see Stroud stats. In his first year. Then that's who played fairly well. No. That's the #1 pick.
5 interceptions, young. He got 5 interceptions.
Can you pull up Stroud stats for me? Stats, please.
But you
That's
what, talking
from a
about-
rookie?
Yes.
No, we're talking about
He got a
now.
solid coach. He had a solid team around.
Let's look at
organization.
Let's look at CJ Stroud numbers now.
He having a
Talk about
sophomore
that.
slump. Yeah. Talk about that.
So
It's really not a sophomore slump.
It is because he had high hopes coming in this year of him like being in MVP conversations, and you ain't hear none of that.
Yeah, CJ Stroud. I mean, I see how
numbers
far,
is what?
Well, his numbers ain't even that far off. CJ Stroud currently he got 3,248 yards.
More interceptions.
300 more passing yards. But he got 17 TDs and same amount of TDs and 9 interceptions. And his QBR is 49.8, and which called QBR
52.
was 47.
47.
And so they both 25th and 26th. CJ Stroud is just one hair better than Caleb Williams this year. So CJ Stroud is not like
Sophomore slump.
Come
for
on,
Buffalo.
man.
Compared to his first year.
and they're fighting for a playoff spot right now. So
Who? Chicago?
no, Houston.
Oh.
So I'm not going to sit back and say that that Caleb Williams is gotta give him more time to develop, see what he does, man. And it's TBIC, the best.
The best.
in sports entertainment.